Welcome to What Are You 12, an IDYP production. Thank you for joining us today. We do appreciate your continued support. Or if you're new, welcome. We're really glad you're here with us.
Yeah.
My name is Ben, and with me today is my co-host, Emily.
Hello, everyone. I don't know why I'm waving.
And we got Brandon with us.
Hey, what's up, everybody?
It's because it's 8:30 and we're all fucking tired.
Yeah.
Exhausted.
At night, everyone.
Quick question before we jump into the movie. If Earth is bound to collide with a planet, what do you hope that planet's like?
A pillow. I want it to be a pillow planet, or like Yarn from Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. I 100% want it to be something really soft.
Okay, that would be good. That would might not destroy us. Brandon, how about you?
A marshmallow, actually.
A marshmallow.
I would actually like a marshmallow. Like if I'm gonna die, I want it to be a nice gooey mess. That's how I want it to go.
In my mouth.
Pause. Hard pause.
Ben, what about you?
I mean, if we're going down, I'd like to take down another species with us. I want fuck Pandora. Let's take out that planet so that there's no more of those movies. I mean, I can't believe James Cameron was able to go to another planet to film those. It's amazing, but fuck that.
Wow. Some hard words right here. Fighting words.
Emily, you watched something recently, didn't you?
Yeah, but it's been out for a while. So I feel like Brandon's seen this. I have no confidence that Ben has seen this. I'm almost sure Ben has never seen this before. I started watching Teen Wolf.
I have not seen it.
Oh, the Michael J. Fox movie?
No, the 2011 show.
Well, no, I haven't seen it.
What the fuck is wrong with you guys? Why aren't you watching this? It is the most ridiculous, silly, teen drama, Twilight-y shit I've ever seen, but it's so fucking funny. It is something that you want to play a drinking game with. It is delightful. And there is one side character who's the best friend of the main character, who is, get this, a teen wolf.
What?
And his best friend gives the best faces, the best lines, and he is so sick of this shit already in the first season. I don't know what happens in the second season. I heard it goes off the rails, but man, I had a great time the first season just watching it on the sidelines while doing other shit. It's great.
So this wolf, let me get this straight. He's adult age, right?
No, he's not. You'll never guess how old he is.
Is he 12?
No, he's not.
Oh.
Is he an actual teenager, or is it one of those things where they live forever or something like that?
I haven't gotten to the lore yet. So far, he's 16 and was recently bitten by a werewolf, so.
Legitimate question about the show.
Yes.
Are his problems mostly teen problems, or are they wolf problems?
It's a really good mix of both. It is a really, really good 50-50 split.
And it's not just a clever title.
No, it's not. It's accurate.
I wonder how that works when you start actually escaping. If you escape or something like that, and then all of a sudden you become a wolf and you come back. It's that. Are you backscaped or are you all wolf down there? You know what I'm saying? Does anybody think about that? Because the hair growth and they come back. I kind of wonder about that. This
get sucked back into your body.
Yeah, does all that come back, or is it just kind of there?
I mean, they do show this in the show, so I guess you have to watch it.
I don't know if you've sold me enough to watch it. Had you said it was 90% wolf problems, I'd be in. But
there's definitely a girl and
a girl wolf?
Well, no, the girl he falls in love with, her family are werewolf hunters.
Stop.
So, you know what? Oddly enough, this guy I work with watched the actual ending movie, the movie finale. And I was asking him a couple of questions about it. It's kind of just feel whatever. I'm never going to hear about this Teen Wolf ever again. And then here we come, full circle.
Honestly, I would encourage everyone to watch a few episodes just for the comedy of it. I don't know if they're trying to be funny, but it's funny.
This week we watched Melancholia, which is currently at 79% on Rotten Tomatoes. The film made 26% of critics' top 10 lists for 2011 and was ranked number 1 on 39 lists, including critics at Entertainment Weekly, IndieWire, and AV Club.
We're alone. Life is only on Earth. And not for long.
This movie's directed by Lars von Trier, who's a Danish-born director who got his start in short films in the 60s and 70s before moving on to music videos in the 80s and 90s. He's known for the films Dancer in the Dark, which is that one starring Bjork, Dogville, and Antichrist. Starring in this movie is Kirsten Dunst. She was a child star in movies like Jumanji, Little Women, and Interview with a Vampire, before starring in teen movies like Bring It On, Drop Dead Gorgeous, and Get Over It. Though she's perhaps best known for that one scene in the rain that she had in Sam Raimi's Spider-Man. At least in
Which
my
one was that
adolescent brain. That was the first one. Also in this movie is Charlotte Gainsborough. She appeared in movies 21 Grams, The Science of Sleep, and I'm Not There, before getting the lead role, winning Best Actress at Cannes for her role in Von Trier's Antichrist. So this is not the first movie that they've made together.
Right. He made like a trilogy, right?
Is it a trilogy? Is this part of the trilogy? Is Nymphomaniac related to Antichrist?
That's what I was going to ask
kind
too.
of, but I don't think that's part of the actual trilogy. I think it's a different movie.
Okay.
But maybe it is.
Lastly, we'll call out Kiefer Sutherland, who will forever be Jack Bauer from the TV show 24, though he has also appeared in movies like Young Guns, Stand By Me, The Lost Boys, and of course, Young Guns 2. I'm a big Young Guns fan, guys.
I don't know anything about what you're saying right now.
I'm a huge Lost Boys fan. I love the Lost Boys. Like, all vampires should come from California. There's no other place they should come from but Santa Monica, California. Period. The end.
Oh no, you're right. It is Nymphomaniac is the third one. Do you guys want to know what I thought this movie was about?
Yeah, absolutely.
Melancholia is a sadness disease that becomes a pandemic in the world where everyone's mouth tastes like dark chocolate, bittersweet.
So it's like the opposite of COVID, where you go from like no taste
to so much taste.
to so much taste. I don't like dark chocolate.
I am literally gonna shit myself. So Brandon, keep going.
Oh
I
my!
gotta poop.
Speaking of dark chocolate.
Oh my gosh. So let me tell you what's on the back of the DVD box right now.
Let's do that.
Justin and Michael celebrate their marriage at a sumptuous party in the home of Justine's sister, Claire, and brother-in-law, John. Despite Claire's best efforts, the wedding is a fiasco with family tensions mounting and relationships fraying. Meanwhile, a planet called Melancholia is headed directly towards Earth, threatening the very existence of humankind.
So, Brandon, you've seen this before.
Yeah, I have. I saw it. I saw it once it was available on DVD way back in the day. So I saw it then.
Well, give us your thoughts when you saw it 10 years ago.
I did not know what to think, but I knew it was. There's a lot of scenes in it that are very pretty, especially the opening scenes. I think I was more intrigued by like the whole like electricity coming off of Kristen Dunst's fingers and like the actual trailer.
Yeah.
So I was kind of amped about that, but I had no clue what it was about until I got like deeper into the film, and I was kind of watching it differently. The one thing I do recall is that there's a ton of handheld in this. Like everything feels like it's handheld.
Mm-hmm.
It was just kind of just going on with that kind of journey and just seeing that the whole landscape of that. Would you call that a compound? We just call that just like a house on
in a state.
Fucking mansion.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was pretty in and of itself. So I kind of watched for that, and then it was one of those movies again that I was like at the very end. I don't know if I liked it or not, but I never forgot it because there's the images and what was being dealt with was just so serious the whole time.
I don't think I'm ever going to forget it now that I've seen it for the first time. It is extremely memorable.
Yeah, this was my first time too, and I feel a little bit misled by the trailer because the trailer does feature so many shots from that first 8 minutes, which is all the surrealist parts, that I do feel like it led me to believe that I was going to see a movie that I didn't end up getting to see. However, I still liked the movie on this first watch. I thought it was very well done. I appreciate the chapters that they decided to do, where they kind of focus on Justine as a character in the first one, and then her sister in the second one. Emily, what'd you think?
I did not watch the trailer ahead of time, so I really had no idea what was going on. And during the entire movie, I had this sense of curiosity and continuous intrigue and this wonder of where is this going? How is this intertwined? What's going to happen? It was the dream sequence actually a dream? Is this real or not? And I was really enraptured by that. And I think it's partially due to the performances, but it was really mostly to the visuals of this. And like Brandon said, it was like this handheld camera, but that claustrophobic feeling I felt that I got from the movie, especially with how Justine's depression really reared itself during her wedding, and you'd get glimpses of these highs and lows, and then it like increased in frequency and also in more rapid succession. And I think for me that really hit hard for me, just because like I myself really struggle with depression, and I know that like I'm not the only one here.
Mm-mm.
So I think that watching this movie and seeing those really intense themes of mental health, I really, really liked it.
The depiction of depression in this movie, in the form of Justine, is so incredibly raw.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the scene that I think of first is the one where her sister's trying to coax her into the bathtub. And you can see like she doesn't even have the energy to lift her leg and get in there. Like, I don't know if I've seen a more real depiction of severe depression than this movie.
I completely agree. I don't watch movies very often. Just kidding. No, but for real, I don't think I've watched anything, show, movie, any sort of media that has completely captured the essence of how I feel when I am at my lowest point. And I didn't get depressed watching this. It was more of an experience. It was this empathetic feeling where it wasn't so intense that it dragged me down, which was really great, because there are some movies and shows that are really emotional that they do drag me down and completely overwhelm me, where I am just like a broken mess. But this was different, and I think it was like this outsider view, yet it was extremely intimate.
I think the thing that I liked most about the depiction of depression is it tries to show people what depression would feel like who maybe have never felt it. And that's what I feel the second half of the movie does, is it takes this idea of this planet coming and crashing into us, and it makes you feel the same feelings that someone who is suffering from severe depression has, like the hopelessness, the manicness sometimes, the
Inevitable nature of things.
absolutely. And I think that's so important to create an experience to help us better understand people. Because, again, I've said this before. That's what I like about movies. I like learning about people. It helps me relate to people and understand people better. And this movie, Emily, helped me better understand you, because I've seen you when you've been very low before. And I never understood fully what that felt like. And I obviously still don't, but I at least have an idea now because of this movie.
Aw. We get deep here.
Real deep, real deep. Hey, there's another thing. I know, just going back to the like the film aspect of it. not to undercut the depression talk, because I could talk about depression for a while too. But what I liked about this, especially the first act, nothing was told, it was shown. So you see her mom a little bit all over the place, and you kind of know, like, okay, maybe that's where she gets a little bit of that disappointment from. You see her dad, like, hey, dad, stay the night, let's talk, dad. Well, dad's probably got a whole nother family, so you kind of learn more about dad as we go, and he's a little bit different. And then
shout out John Hurt, fucking love him.
John, he was a national treasure, dude.
John
Hurt was dope as hell. But and then you see how, like, well, the main Sarsgaard, because there's Sarsgaards everywhere. I think they just
so many Skarsgårds.
They just kind of snap their fingers and they just kind of multiply. But they're like hellified actors. Like, everything I've seen them in, they're always good. But you see how he's trying to be, like, understanding of everything, trying to be. And then, like, the pressure from her job and stuff like that. She's leaving the job and everything that kind of goes on. So she's got so much inside of this first act, that you have your baseline for why she's all over the place. Mm-hmm. And it's nobody ever says, oh shit, like, you never hear somebody say, oh, she's depressed. I don't think that ever comes up, or anybody ever says it. You just see it, like, you see it and you feel it. I don't know if it's said. I can't remember if it's ever said.
I don't think the word depressed is ever said.
I don't think it is either, but there is a moment where her new husband says something about, like, how she's been doing well, or like how things have gotten better, or like episodes haven't happened as I can't remember the actual phrasing of it, but they do allude to the fact that she is not mentally well.
Right. But I think it's shown so well how that range of emotions goes through, and how you could be like, it's supposed to be the happiest moment of your life, but yet and still she's, like, all over the place.
I know this movie sparked a lot of theories in my brain.
Ooh, what kind of theories?
So one theory, based on what we were just talking about, is I thought that the Justine part of the movie was encapsulating multiple years of relationships all within one night. Like, as I'm watching it, I felt like the development of events that were happening was happening too quickly to actually be the actual representation of events. But instead, it's like, let's take all of these things that happen over the course of a couple years and condense them into what if they all happened in one night.
Oh, that's interesting. I like that idea, especially because I feel like the director purposely gave us snippets and these time jumps almost. You had mentioned earlier this manic state, and as I was watching this movie, there would be moments where we were on the golf course and suddenly we're back at the wedding and things seem like they're winding down, but everyone's dancing. It felt like the wedding was going on forever.
It did. I even wrote
maybe
that.
That's just me, but I wrote it down, and me too, right? This wedding is going on forever. And so, like, maybe it's not actually a real wedding. Maybe this is just like this personification of these relationships or something.
It's the stuff with the boss that made me feel that the most, because
why is that?
I think it's just, she goes from, like, getting this promotion to all of a sudden we're maybe a few hours later into the wedding, and now she's to the point of, like, resigning because he's pushing her. So I felt like the push from the boss must have been something happening over an amount of time that caused her to boil over, rather than just what we saw in this movie, which is basically, you got the job, I want you to do this, you're quitting.
Yeah, I can see that for sure. I think also the relationship between her parents, I think that tension that happens, and seeing her mom kind of spiral out of control, although, like, I also felt like I didn't really know what was happening. And then watching John Hurt, like, have 2 dates, I think. I still, again, like, I didn't really know what was happening. But I can see that as well, just like this animosity towards each other, and then her father leaving her, and this, like, residual hurt. I can see just the space of time actually representing a longer time.
Mm-hmm. I think John, the character, represents people who think that depression is just something you can get over. And I think that's the point of his character.
Oh my God. I love that theory. Because there are 100% people like that. There's so many people like that. That it's like, just, you can just exercise. You can just go do something you love. You can just smile. You can just go be with family and it's okay and you will get over it. Or this is a phase or it's seasonal, which yes, it can be seasonal.
I definitely used to be one of those people until I got super, super depressed once. And I was like, yo, like, I'm just going to sit down here. I'm good. I just feel like doing anything at all. And then it's like, you kind of find that like when you, like, coming up really isn't coming all the way. It feels like I never come all the way up, but I come just above the surface. And I don't know if it's just a situational thing or if it's just like, I'm thinking about too much stuff or, and I never knew what anxiety was until I lost my job, was coming back from an Achilles rupture, and I was coaching fourth grade football. And I used to be able to like just cool coaching, pop out there, let's go do this, that, and the other. And I find myself, I would get to the actual parking lot, I get there 20 minutes early, and I wouldn't get out of the car until 10 minutes into practice. And I couldn't figure out why I was doing that. Like I was like, how come I can't get out of this car? And then I started to like, okay, let me talk to somebody. Like, I don't know what's wrong with me. Like, and I would get like nervous for snow. And I would never get nervous for anything. Only time I would get a little bit nervous is when I was about to play. But then literally once I got to playing, like I was fine. And it only happened if I haven't played in a while. But this was like everything all day, like going to go find the job, going to go get something to eat, going to go out with friends. I'm like, why am I always nervous? I don't understand this.
And I think that happens so much. Like there's people that don't understand is because there's just not a lot of really good research out there on mental health. Like it's getting a way better now, but the conversations around mental health, I know that since the pandemic, things have definitely opened up conversationally wise. But I also know that there like my dad is one of them. He has started to figure out kind of how I am. But it is definitely hard to try to process with, especially I think older generations on like what we're going through, and they're like, well, that's just normal. And it's like, no, it's not. You all just didn't know that you have a chemical imbalance in your brain.
Right.
But yeah, Ben, I like the idea that like John is this person that he micromanages things. Like it has to be a certain way. It's like, nope, just get over this. This is supposed to be a happy time. You can't even take a step back and be upset about anything. Like has to be perfect. And at the end, oh my God, does that have a complete shift and surprise the shit out of me?
I don't think it's just irony or coincidence that he dies by over medicating.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think that just helps build my theory. So thank you for indulging me, you guys. I did think that the colliding planets was a metaphor at the beginning and not something that was actually happening. So not all of my theories pan out. Brandon, what are some shots that you really liked in this movie?
Other than the estate being absolutely gorgeous, the whole film, the one shot that I really liked, and the one that I kind of went back to a couple times, the end of the first act when she finally gets out of the bathtub and gets her dress back on, and everything else happens. She's sitting in that, I guess I don't know, that like the dance room or whatever with all like the chairs, and she's on the chairs and her like shoes are kind of half off and she's just sitting there by herself.
Oh yeah, that stack of chairs.
Yeah, that's I think for me, I think it basically sums up her and how she's feeling and what she's going through. Like I think that's the one scene that kind of sticks out. And it's up there for a little while. And then after that it's kind of odd. Like from there, the first part of the second act, you see a lot of shots looking in through doors. It feels like. So it's almost like we're getting like a different view of like a different perspective of what's coming next and how everything's going to be done afterwards.
Yeah, I really liked one of the scenes that you're talking about. It's through a window in the second half of the movie where Claire's looking outside. and she's seeing her family be really cute, but you can see kind of the outline of the window and the framing of the window, and then it kind of moves a little bit higher and you can see Justine further away in distance. But again, that framing, I really liked that, shooting through the doors and windows.
Yeah, and that DP is Emmanuel Roberto Claro. I guess I'm saying his name right. And he's just mostly just worked with like Lars in a lot of films. He's done he's done this one. He did the what's the other ones? The 3-part series that we were talking about earlier.
The Antichrist.
Yep.
And
He did that one with him.
Is it
Yep.
Nymphomaniac? I've never seen it.
I've seen parts of it. I don't think I've seen the whole thing. I kind of wanted to see it, but I didn't know.
You
what
saw
it was,
the parts that
what
were
I
put on
was in for.
Pornhub.
Exactly.
Wait, what?
That's what I've seen. There are definitely parts on Pornhub.
Yes,
But
there are.
there was a few other parts that weren't Pornhub-ish that I've seen before as well. Yeah, so it's he's mostly just kind of worked with him as far as like all the big stuff goes.
The shooting and style of the filmmaking was definitely my favorite part of the movie. I really liked the shot at the end of the movie, especially. That's the one that really made me go, whoa, as the planet's coming towards Earth, and it's kind of framed with the teepee that they've built, like right in the middle. I thought that was a really cool shot.
Yeah,
I love the color palette of this movie.
Yeah, the whole like the bluish and the orange. Yeah.
And that first 8 minutes with the surrealist filmmaking,
we
like
need to talk
great.
about that opening. We really need to talk about that opening. And Ben, you're not the only one that thought the planets colliding was going to be a metaphor of some kind. I literally had no idea that this was actually going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
I remember the first time watching it, I was like, "Whoa, wait, are they rolling credits? Like, this is it? Oh, okay. Well, I guess that's what happens to the world. I guess."
I kid you not, as I'm watching this opening, I have my phone with my notes out, and my mouth was open the whole time. Like I think I immediately texted Ben and said, "You need to watch the first 2 minutes of this." But then it kept going, and so I kept jotting down every single time something happened. And the music, that motif that repeats over and over again, the piece Tristan and Isolde, like, fuck. It really has such a meaning, starting with such an out there series of scenes. You know, we're starting with Kirsten Dunst's face with classical music and birds falling around her.
Right.
And then we have paintings burning, and we have this gorgeous shot of the estate and the garden, and we have a golf course where we find Claire like sinking into the green as she's running in terror, holding her child. And then we start getting into the like real big planet and moon stuff too. And it keeps cutting back to these surreal images. Like I keep thinking of the Kirsten Dunst one in her wedding dress as she's running through and she's getting like
Dragged
pulled
by the
back.
vines. Yeah.
Dragged back by the vines, and then the Ophelia imagery of her laying in the pond. You know, just amazing. I thought for sure that this was going to be like some parallel universe shit. I also thought that this reminded me a ton of Fantasia vibes. Did you guys watch Disney's Fantasias?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't.
Okay, so there's two of them. There's one from like forever ago, and it has like Mickey Mouse with the
brooms.
not broomsticks.
That's the one
yeah.
that I remember watching. Yeah.
Maybe they're mops. But then there's like a newer-ish one from 2000 where they do the same thing. But it just has this just really weird, surreal feel with this amazing piece of music. And wow, did I really want this movie to keep going in that direction.
And I really appreciated that the surrealism that was being shown was also rooted in some scientific reality. Like that's what really engaged me, was this idea of like, okay, if these planets are coming close together, gravity's going to be fucked up, electromagnetism is going to be fucked up, birds probably would fall from the sky because the flow of air is changing. That's what really engaged me in that first 8 minutes, because I was like, oh yeah, this shit really happened. I was all ready for a sci-fi movie, and it just never materialized for me.
I'm like, I loved the mental health focus, but I guess I wanted more sci-fi shit.
Mm-hmm.
There was like some subtle things that like I remember we all used to do construction together. So my grandpa used to tell me something, and we would all sit down. It was be raining. So like before thunderstorms, he said, "Listen," and I would listen. He said, "Do you hear any birds?" I was like, "No, I don't hear any birds at all." He said, "It's gonna storm really bad." I was like, "Well, okay." I was like, "Okay, Grandpa," you know what I'm saying? But like, it's Grandpa, so I know you've been around, you know this stuff. And without a doubt, it was like this huge thunder downpour and everything like that. And then like right before it stopped, you hear birds chirping again. He's like, "Okay, we can go back out and finish working." And I'm like, "But it's still raining." He's like, No. We'll be fine in about 15 minutes. And rest assured. So like the animals and like the bugs coming out of the ground, the horses all being all over the place like that. Those are just like those cues that like something's gonna go down. So like just seeing that again, like I was hoping for a little bit, like you were saying, Ben, like I hope for a little bit more sci-fi, but just those kind of like nature cues that like something's wrong. You know what I'm saying? I think that's kind of, you can even take that as being in the whole like depression type thing too. Like your body tells you when something's wrong. Like you're not lined up right. So yeah, it's again, I didn't know if I liked it or not, but it's a movie. It's a movie I never forgot. I've never forgotten it. Anytime I see it pop up, I never forget it.
You know what else we need to talk about? We need to talk about the second half versus the first half of the movie.
Oh, I hear a tone.
I don't really think I liked it as much.
The second half.
Well, I liked a lot of it. And maybe it's because the first 8 minutes were so out there. And then I had this 50-minute chunk of Kirsten Dunst acting the hell out of this role and just how things were moving and how things were shot. And it's not that changed per se in the second half. It's just that the second half didn't truly feel like it was about Claire, even though it was called Claire.
I wrote down in my notes, maybe 5 minutes into the second half, depression has a sister, and the sister's name is anxiety. Because that's what I feel like the second half was. Like you had Justine, who's like super depressed, and you had Claire, who's like always super anxious and is constantly like worrying about what's happening.
Mm-hmm. But I feel like the way that Justine portrays depression, I feel like Claire does not capture anxiety in the same way in like a really not critical lens, but like a really authentic lens. And maybe it's just hard to present that, but you know, they did such a good job with depression, but maybe that's because it's like you can see the physical parts of depression better than anxiety. But I don't know.
I mean, she kept asking John, like, is everything's going to be okay? So she was kind of like in this, she kind of needed that reassurance that everything's going to be fine. I guess it was anxiety too. I mean, I guess now that you guys are saying it, I'm thinking back on it, it does feel like she was really anxious, but I didn't think like it was for some reason. I was so, like you said before, so lined up with the depression aspect of it that I didn't think about anxiety at all.
And I think also just the idea of the wedding and how it was shot with just like so much chaos moving around, like people, excitement, and being overwhelmed by that amount versus coming to the second half and realizing, oh, this planet is actually coming towards Earth. It was such a switch of this is real life versus this is sci-fi. And so it was just this really weird disconnect and disjointedness for me. Not that I didn't like it. I mean, I really, really loved a lot of it. But it was one of the few things that kind of bothered me about the movie.
The thing that bothered me about the movie is calling the planet Melancholia. It's just a little too on the nose.
Sadness.
Yeah, come on.
Like that, you know what? The thing that bothered me was like seeing Kristen Dunst topless. That bothered me for some reason.
What?
It's a beautiful shot, though.
Oh yeah, amazing shot. And here's the thing. She has a very nice body, but you know how like there's like some childhood character people that you grow up with. To me, she's still the girl from Interview with a Vampire. Like it's like her. No, seriously, her. Keke Palmer. I cannot look at Keke Palmer as being a grown woman. Who's the girl who's like Penny Proud? I forget her name right now.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. I can't remember her name either.
Kyla Pratt. I can't see it. She's Penny Proud. Like when I see her grown up, I'm like, oh, she's pretty proud. You know what I'm saying? It's like you don't want to see them above the way they actually are. Same thing with Tatiana Ali. Like when she's like, you know, she's Will Smith's cousin. Like I don't want to see Will Smith's cousin like have her clothes on. Like I just can't do it. It's like it feels like you're my cousin. Like I can't do that. Like it felt like Kristen Dunst was like, no, seriously, it feels like Kristen Dunst was like a girl used to babysit or something like that. I'm like, yeah, they're nice. She has a very nice body, but I don't want to see it. Like it's y'all didn't feel like that at all? Is it just me?
No, for me it was more artistic than
oh yeah, definitely artistic. Yeah, definitely.
Right, but like I guess I'm younger, and so her having this sort of like I grew up with her mentality, it doesn't bother me as much. But I think I also have accepted a lot more when it comes to nudity in film, where it doesn't make me pause unless it's like really sexualizing women in a really derogatory way. But I felt like this was, I mean, there was kind of a weird moment of like, are you sunbathing in the planet? That was my first thought. But otherwise, I just thought it was a beautiful shot.
Yeah, it was a beautiful shot, but it's just like it's like you don't want to see Rudy Huxtable half naked. That's how it was for me. Like that's how it felt like to me. Like I grew up with this girl. I don't know.
See, and for me, my main introduction to Kirsten Dunst was Bring It On and Spider-Man, which
all
were very sexually formative.
Was to see
like,
you naked.
So yeah, like teenage Ben was like celebrating when she came on, like was on screen naked. He was like, "Yeah, about time."
I was like, oh. Like she's kind of got a lot going on. Oh, I'm like, I don't need to see this right now. Like, I felt like cover her up real quick, please. Jesus Christ. But yeah, that was my sidebar on that. That's how I felt about that.
Oh my god, you guys!
Let's roll the credits on this thing, and the credits roll in this movie, and it's complete silence while the actors are listed one at a time. And then after like 30 seconds to a minute, some orchestra music starts to play till the end.
Different orchestra music, right?
Yes, different orchestra music.
It's the first time we hear different orchestra music.
This is, as an usher, perfect. Because I come into the theater, I see that last shot of the planet collapsing, and then it's complete silence so that I can hear all of the confusion as people are like, what the fuck did I just watch? And that is the best feeling as an usher, when you can hear like couples fighting about why did you bring me to this? Like, rah, 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 rah. or like I didn't get it. Like, oh, so good. Just stifling laughter as people exit the theater is one of the best parts of being an usher. 9 out of 10. Well done, Melancholia. Okay, Brandon, wrap it up for us.
I still don't know if I liked it or not. I enjoy a lot of the visual aspects of this film. Yeah, it's again, this is my second time watching it, and it's I just don't know. I don't know if I liked it or not. I think I'll always be like that with this film.
I did really like this movie. There were aspects that I didn't like. As I said earlier, that second half being about Claire, I feel like it wasn't as fleshed out as I wanted it to be. And the components of the sci-fi elements in it, I wanted it to be more. I didn't want it to be less. I wanted it to be more. Because I didn't want this to just be a trauma mental health movie. I really liked the sci-fi components within it. Overall, though, this is a movie that I would definitely revisit, but mostly for the visual sake. I don't know if I would go back to be like, I want to watch this story again.
I'm just going to piggyback off you, Emily, and everything you just articulated, I completely agree with. So that's my feelings as well. Liked it. Probably will watch it again, but it didn't fully become what I wanted it to be.
What's your favorite idea? Mine is being creative.
How do you get that idea?
I just try to think creatively.
Twitslight. Number 1. There were a shit ton of random scenes that I didn't really understand what was going on. I honestly did not think that it was going to tie into the movie. I thought they were just going to be random scenes. So what other random scene would you just add to the opening in this collection of random scenes? You got a horse falling over? You got a planets crashing together? What are you adding?
Jack Black, just not Jack Black, but Jack Sparrow just running through the scene like.
I mean, I love both. I love both.
All the Jacks.
That's amazing. A bunch of people named Jack running through the scene.
It's just running through. Like everybody else is in like that, like, you know, hyper slow motions, but they're like literally like they're going like all 50, 60 frames. It's flying through there. It should be flying through, and everybody else.
What
is
just
going
happened? I love that.
I would want. This movie needed some dogs, some Melancolies. So just, you know, depression dogs running around, maybe attacking her, biting her leg.
Like dogs that are depressed.
Melancolies, yeah.
Like what's the name of that dog? What's the name of that dog? He's like a
Marmaduke.
Hanna-Barbera dog. No, it's not Marmaduke. He's like the sad dog all the time.
Yeah. Oh my god.
What is
My
his
dog.
name?
Dozer's always sad. He is the saddest dog in the world.
Is it Droopy?
Droopy. Droopy should be in it.
Okay, number 2. Leo, who is Claire's son, invents very strangely specific inventions in this, most notably his weird little planet tracker, holding it to your chest and seeing how far away the planet is, right?
He didn't invent that. His dad,
Whatever.
that's an actual tool.
I know it's an actual tool, but he was like, look what our son made.
Okay.
So I gotta know, what other strangely specific inventions do you think Leo made?
I don't think they owned a TV. Do you guys notice that?
Oh.
Like, that kid never watched TV. He's got no idea. He's got no basis for creation because he doesn't know what's out there. I think he creates the first Rubik's sphere.
Inspired by Melancholia.
It's just one color. It's a ball. The guy just made a ball and he just like, well, watch me spin it and do the puzzle. And it's like, you're an idiot.
I was thinking he was gonna like do something for his mom and have like a automatic like wine taker off her popper or something like that.
Ooh,
She was
like a
always
corker,
drinking
yeah.
something. Yeah, like an automatic corker or something like that. Like just press a button and this just pops the cork.
My immediate thought after Ben was like, that's a real thing. That's a real invention. I'm like, whatever. And then I remembered the scene where his aunt, Justine, is like grossly eating jam with her fingers. And I was like, he's going to invent a fork. Okay, number 3. How does the world end in your movie?
Emily, I know that you haven't seen this and have no idea what I'm about to say. Brandon, have you ever seen the show Saint Elsewhere?
A long
Or
time
heard of
ago,
it?
yeah.
About the hospital, and the show ends and it like pans out and it's a kid holding a snow globe, like an autistic kid, and he's imagining like everything that happened in the show as he looked at the snow globe. So I just
That's
imagine
how it
like,
ended?
oh yeah. So I just imagine like a snow globe smashes and that's the world ending.
Wow, I love it.
Man. But Denzel Washington has to survive.
Yep.
Denzel has to survive.
And Howie Mandel.
And how, yep, those two guys got to make it out alive.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe this is just because how I feel recently. Everything feels kind of surreal to me. So maybe we're just not here. Maybe we just are just figments of somebody's imagination, or maybe we're just one large consciousness that kind of lost its way. And then when the consciousness wakes up, then we all disappear.
So just disappear, kind of like
We just disappear.
the snap.
Because like technically, like the Earth doesn't need us. Everything else goes on without
We're a
us.
disease.
We're evil.
Yeah.
We're basically a virus. That's it.
Nothing has meaning.
Now let's all agree to never be creative again.
Let's move on to the game for today. It's America's favorite game and Emily's least favorite game. Today we're playing Estimating Emily.
Fuck. Oh no.
Estimating Emily.
Oh, this is
I
a good
remember
one,
this game.
Brandon. In the movie, Justine knew how many beans were in the jar at her wedding.
Oh my god, no.
Great estimator.
Not estimator. She just knows things.
Well, you might just know these things.
Fuck.
So let's see how well Emily can estimate these wedding-based numbers.
Oh my god.
Okay, Brandon,
Shit.
Emily's going to name a number. Your job is higher or lower. That's it.
Okay, got it.
Okay, let's back up. Are you giving him an option of or the same? Because you tricked someone last time.
Yeah, you can go the same. I wouldn't guess same on any of these, Brandon. Just a little insider. Don't guess same. Okay.
Wow, what a fucker.
Same's not the way to go. Okay.
Now, Emily, number one. What is the average cost of a wedding?
I'm pretty sure it's like 30,000.
Brandon, higher or lower?
Gosh, higher.
It is lower, but it is very close. It's 28,000.
Oh,
Good job, Emily.
Wait, does that count for me then? But I thought I had to be accurate.
Anytime Brandon gets it wrong, you win.
Okay. Because I thought it was last time as I had to be exactly on it.
No. Okay, Emily.
Which is so fucking stupid.
What is the longest wedding dress train?
What unit of measure would you like?
The correct one.
Oh my god, are you fucking kidding me? So if I say yards and it's actually like specific feet and you don't convert it?
I'll do the conversion for you to the unit I have.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. We're gonna go 80 feet.
80 feet, Brandon. Is it longer or shorter?
I'll say longer.
It is way longer. It's 5 miles long.
Shut the fuck up.
Yep.
Shut the fuck up. Brandon gets this one because my guess was so significantly tiny.
Yep. Okay, next one. What percentage of engagements are called off before the wedding?
Oh man.
Let's go with 20%. It's probably more.
I'm gonna say lower.
Optimist.
It's same. Emily nailed it right on, 20%.
Oh my goodness.
Are you
Unbelievable.
serious?
Yeah, unbelievable.
Fuck yeah.
I'm behind it right now. I'm way behind it.
Wow. Okay, Emily, what's the average wedding guest list? How many people?
Average wedding guest list. Is this data from like recent years or pre-COVID years? I'm just curious because that might change.
Yeah, COVID data is not taken into account.
Okay, we'll go with let's go with an even 100.
That almost sounds kind of spot on. I'm gonna say more.
It is more. It is 167.
Fuck! How do people have so many people? Oh my god. No wonder it's 28,000.
Right.
Most amount of monogamous weddings for one person in a lifetime by the amount of different women.
I do not understand what you're asking me.
The most married man in the world got married to how many different women?
Oh, I understand. In his lifetime or something?
In his lifetime.
Okay. We'll go with 16.
I'm gonna say more. Higher.
It is more. It's 29 different women.
Oh my god.
And 31 weddings total because he married the 2 women twice.
My god.
Yep.
My gut instinct was 20 something, and then I was like, nah, that's mean. Like, I like someone probably didn't do that.
Emily, what's the heaviest wedding cake ever made?
Heaviest wedding cake ever made. Let's go with 1 ton.
Oh, I would say it's lower than that.
It is 6.8 tons.
The train I have
train.
redeemed.
Who's eating that much cake?
No one. The answer is
I don't
no
think
one.
it was made for eating.
Oh my god!
It was made for jumping into.
Is this like how much money do these people have? And why are they wasting money?
Exorbitant amount.
Yeah.
That could feed a whole city like of people who are homeless or just want to eat cake. I don't know.
Emily, there's a couple that is considered the most married couple in the world because they've had how many weddings / vow exchanges?
We're gonna go with 50. 50.
I'll say it's more.
It is more. It is 109.
Okay, that's got to be multiple a year.
Yeah, it is.
That's fucking insane. I was like, yeah, maybe here and there once a year plus an extra couple. Fucking A, people suck.
Last one. What is the largest wedding bouquet ever by flowers? How many flowers were used to make the largest wedding bouquet ever?
Mine had like 5 or 6 flowers, so I'm trying to like
I'll tell you right
imagine
now,
this.
it's bigger than that.
Well, fuck yeah, it is. I'm just trying to think, like, in my mind, how much is like a normal bouquet, and I'm like, I cannot fathom what that is because mine was so tiny. It was elegant. It was beautiful. Let's go with 50,000.
50,000 flowers, Brandon.
Yep.
Boy.
Because baby's breath is tiny, so I was like, maybe each of those counts as one.
I'm gonna say more.
It is significantly less. It is 1,500 flowers.
God, I'm so dumb.
But 1,500 flowers weighed 100 pounds.
That's so many. I was gonna say like 100 pounds, but I like proportionally did not know how many flowers that would be.
Was that thrown at somebody too? Did she
It was dropped on somebody.
Oh my god.
Emily, great estimating. You won today's game. Congratulations.
I did?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone, for listening. Please like, rate, subscribe, share us with a friend or two. You can follow us on social media at IDYP_podcast on Twitter and Instagram, or you can email us at idrinkerpodcast@gmail.com. Brandon, as our loser today, you need to end the episode by saying Melancholia sounds like a fruit STD.
Yeah, dude, you got melancholia? Are you serious? Dude, this sounds like a fruit STD.
Oh,
You got
man.
melancholia, cuz. You're done. It's gonna fall off in your hand. It's gonna drop off in the shower. You got melancholia,
God.
dude. It's
Oh
over
my
for
God.
you. You're gonna lose it swimming. It's gonna be gone.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everyone.
All right, y'all take it easy.